Hi everyone, my name is Katie Vadros. I am your instructor for this course and I am also a registered dietitian. I'm going to do a brief 6-slide PowerPoint slide on what is a registered dietitian and how to become a registered dietitian. I'll even talk about my path onto becoming a registered dietitian. So, what is a registered dietitian? It is a healthcare professional who has special training in diet and nutrition. Registered dietitians offer advice on nutrition, healthy eating habits, how to improve their health and well-being. RDs are food and nutrition experts who have to meet the CDR or Commission on Dietetic Registrations criteria to earn the RD credential. So I'm going to go through the slides real quick first because I am on a time schedule. And then after that, I'm going to tell you my story, how I became a dietitian. So jobs for registered dietitians. It could be anything in the healthcare field. That can be on an inpatient, outpatient setting. You could do anything community public health. You can work for WIC. You can work for the LSU Ag Center as a registered dietitian. That is considered community and public health. Anything education-wise, you could be a professor at a university or even a technical college and teach nutrition dietetic courses. You can work in the research field. I don't know if you have ever heard of Pennington Biomedical Research Center. It's in Baton Rouge on Perkins Road. Over there, they have registered dietitians who strictly work on clinical studies on how to lose weight or, anything, any kind of clinical study that could be like on food or food addiction, how to lose weight, so all sorts of different things. If you like research and you want to be a dietitian, you can definitely go into that field. Anything like private practice, you can own your own business. You can even own your own consulting business. That's still considered private practice. You can work for government agencies and or work in the business industry. Sometimes these big companies will hire registered dietitians to work for them, and they can be the registered dietitians for their employees to make sure that their employees are eating, eating healthy or have good healthy eating habits. That sometimes that'll help the insurance prices go down for those big companies. So, how to become a registered dietitian? You have to complete a bachelor's degree from an accredited university. So, like Nichols has a dietetic program that offers a Bachelor of Science degree, and it is accredited. So they have these the accreditation agency will come to Nichols every couple years and make sure that Nichols is offering the classes that need to be offered in order to take the next steps to become a registered dietitian. You also have to have a didactic program in dietetics. Nichols has that. That is just saying that we have these dietetic classes that will prepare you for the next steps in becoming a registered dietitian. You also have to complete, and it has to be an accredited dietetic internship. Nichols just got their dietetic internship back in 2017. They used to have it many, many years ago, and then they got rid of it, and now it is back and it is accredited. Same process. The accreditation comes in, make sure that we're doing things the way we're supposed to do and get the interns ready in order to take the RD exam, which we will talk about in a second. So, talking about the internship, it has to be an approved internship, like we just said. The accreditation people will come in, make sure that it is up to standards, it is up to par for these interns. We're teaching them what they're supposed to learn in order to be able to be eligible to take the RD exam. Most internships last anywhere between 9 and 12 months. I know a couple of them, they go over 12 months. It is unpaid, but you do have to pay. You have to pay, but they don't pay you. doing the internship, you go through clinical, you go work in a hospital, in a clinical setting just to see what it's like to be a registered dietitian in a clinical outpatient setting. You also do food service, community. You go to all these different rotations to see what it's like being a dietitian in certain fields, just to see what you would like and to get a better understanding of what a registered dietitian does in those different fields. And that helps prepare you for the exam. Now, starting in 2024, in order for you to be eligible for the exam, so after you finish your internship, you are eligible to take your RD exam just as long as you have a verification statement after your internship. If you pass your internship, you'll get a verification statement. And you meet all those competencies, you'll get a verification statement. So starting in 2024, in order for you to be eligible for the RD exam, you have to have a master's. It doesn't have to be in dietetics. It could be in psychology. It can be in business administration. It could be in whatever. You just have to have a master's. So anybody but before 2024, like me, I was an intern in 2019, passed my exam in 2020. When I finished the internship, I passed my exam. I am grandfathered in to where I don't have to have my master's, but I'm getting my master's right now. But I'm already grandfathered in. But anybody starting in 2024 will have to have a master's in order to sit for the RD exam. So next we'll talk about the RD exam. After you complete the internship, you meet all those eligibility requirements. You are eligible to sit for the RD exam. Once you pass the RD exam, you can use those credentials behind your name and you find a job as a registered dietitian in whatever field you would want to, that you're interested in, whichever field you want to go into. After you pass your exam, every 5 years, you have to submit at least 75 hours of continuing education hours. And it's every 5 years, so it's very easy to obtain these 75 hours in 5 years because you have 5 years to do it. And if you don't submit your continuing education hours, then you would have to sit again for the exam. So it is beneficial to get those 75 hours in 5 years because you do not want to retake the exam. So I'm going to tell my story really quick. So whenever I was in high school, I was in a class called Pro Start. It was for juniors and seniors. It was like a cooking class. I knew that I wanted to do something with food. I just didn't want to be a culinary major. So I asked my teacher, like, hey, what can I do with food but not be a chef? And she's like, Katie, you could be a registered dietitian. So that night I looked up what a registered dietitian was, and from then it's been my passion to be a registered dietitian. I graduated Nichols in 2015 with my bachelor's degree. At that time, Nichols did not have an internship, so I had to apply to different places. At that time, the internships were very competitive, and I did not get in. So after I graduated Nichols in 2015, I ended up going to work. I worked until 2019. By this time, Nichols had obtained the internship again. So in 2019, I decided to apply for the internship with Nichols. I got in. I had to quit my job for a whole year. I did the internship for a whole year, and then in 2020, we finished in May of 2020. When we finished, I started studying for the exam, and I took it, and I passed it on my first try, and now, ever since then, I've been a registered dietitian. My first registered dietitian job was a clinical dietitian at Women's Hospital. I did that for about a year. Then I wanted more experience in a general hospital, not just a women's hospital. So I worked at Ochsner Baton Rouge for a year, And then the opportunity came up for me to come to Nichols and be an instructor for the internship. And I was also able, that I'm doing, like I'm also doing it right now, obtaining my master's in the process. So that is what I'm doing right now. That is how you become a registered dietitian. If anybody is interested in talking about a possibility of becoming a registered dietitian or anything on the lines to do with some kind of dietetics nutrition courses, just email me or come see me in my office and let me know, and we can talk about it. And I hope y'all have a good day.